given me the go-ahead on opening our outside platforms. However, there are a few rules for our viewing decks. Please do not hog the good spots. Let everyone have a chance for a great photo. Rotate around so everyone can see that great view. If you are on the mountainside of the viewing deck, please keep from sticking your head and arm out too far. Some of the rocks are super close, and I'm sure a headache or a broken arm or camera is not something you want to take back with you. Once again, a great big shout out to all of those under the age of 16. If you're under the age of 16, look around. Find your most responsible adult, look them in the eyes, and tell them to stay right by your side at all times. We need to make sure those adults are supervised all the time and that they do not fall off. Always stay with your responsible adult. Be mindful of the chains. Please do not lean on them. They will not support the weight and you may take an early departure. We are now approaching the Denver Valley. Many stop here, headed up for a hike to Denver Glacier. On the right, you've seen this red caboose. It's a refurbished 1960s railroad caboose that was retired from the White Pass stop. This horseshoe curve is the first of two. We're going across a wooden bridge, crossing the east fork of the Skagway River. Just a bit. The date, July 17th, 1897. The headline of the Seattle Post reads, "Gold, gold, gold." 68 rich men on the steamer Portland arrived at Seattle with stacks of yellow metal. Mrs. Eugene Simple, who lived in Seattle, said, "Seattle is all agog with this gold fever, and the streets are crowded with knots of men so worked up over the news that they can scarcely avoid being run over by the cars and carriages. The world is in the midst of an economic depression. People from all walks of life abandon their duties and head out in search for their gold. Boats of all kinds sailed north out of the western port cities, nearly bursting with people, gear, and pack animals. Over 100,000 are going to make this journey, but how many would strike it rich?" If you will notice, out of the left-hand side of the train, there's going to be two clearings coming up. If you look out across this Denver Valley, you'll be able to catch a glimpse of the Skagway Harbor and maybe even your cruise ship docked back down there. Over your left shoulder, that wooden bridge is going to come into view, where we just crossed in the Denver Valley. point. This point right in through here, this was the first major obstacle that the builders would face. At 300 feet above the valley, this rock, 120 foot high, 20,000 tons of solid granite. It took 250 tons of black powder to dislodge enough to lay this 16-foot wide rail bed. At $600 a ton, the black powder for this spot alone cost the railroad $150,000. The work was so dangerous that they had an on-site hospital located here to treat the injured workers. Arriving in the ports of Dyea and Skagway in southeast Alaska in 1897, these gold seekers had a choice to make: the Chilkoot Trail or the White Pass Trail. See, it was well over a year prior, in 1896, that the gold was first found in the Klondike River by George Carmack, Dawson Charlie, and a Tlingit native named Sukum Jim Mason. These areas were home to the Tlingit First Tribe Nation. They lived off the bounty of the land and established trade routes throughout the area. The Chilkoot Trail was one of the more well-known trade routes for the Tlingit Nation. If the Stampeders chose this trail, well, that one ran 33 miles through steep permafrost terrain. The brutally steep final 800-foot climb to the summit of the pass was a nightmare. The Stampeders would travel over 16 miles of rugged trail 20 to 40 times, loaded with 50 to 100 pounds before all of their load was at the top of the summit. But choosing the White Pass Trail, this path was not as steep as the Chilkoot Trail. Some Stampeders, after reading a few guidebooks, thought, why should I take the Chilkoot Trail? I can pack all of my things on the back of a pack animal and travel over the summit the easy way. But oh, were they wrong. This 45-mile-long White Pass Trail only went up to 2,888 feet above sea level, but it had its own harrowing twists and turns. At times, the trail became impassable due to the harsh weather and conditions, the rain and the mud. Many gave up their outfits and left. One stampeder said, whichever trail you took, you wish you had taken the other. One way is hell, and the other is pure damnation.
Come back, if you will notice the gray building across on the other side, that is our incinerator building. That's your cue to pay attention for the next mile, looking directly down to see those rapids. Especially when you hit that one down there with whirlpool, throws you